Today, I bought Charlie Brown yard decorations. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. Who doesn't like Peanuts? Charlie Brown. Some people say I look like an Asian Charlie Brown. I don't really see it, but everyone loves them. So I thought this fall I would put out some Charlie Brown decorations. Now, they came in this box here and they don't look very attractive at the moment, but I'm going to see if I can put these together. And spoiler alert, I think the setup here is Charlie Brown kicking the football that Lucy is holding, and we all know how that turns out. So let's take a look and see what we get and then set them up. All right, for as intimidating as this looked like it was going to be from the box, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Actually, the Charlie Brown here is going to be a little simpler. You can see we have two halves to the head here, so I will have to decouple these bad boys. And what you can see here is that they have these little tiny loops there, and what ends up happening with these loops is that when you clamshell these suckers back together, you actually get a bag of stakes, but also, more importantly, these little zip ties. So that is how you're going to attach them together. You can also see that we have Christmas lights inside, so this whole thing will get lit up. Looks like Lucy's hair will be a separate piece that will get attached to her head over here. And then I will have to make sure that I set up this football right so that everyone is in the right position, so it looks like the famous scenes from the Peanuts. So we'll get these set up. Okay, I got Lucy done. So here are some tips. First of all, this is a great little project to do outside because between the little sparkly stuff that comes off and the little confetti pieces, this is a great thing to do outside because it's going to kind of get everywhere. Now, I will say that most of these things go together with wire ties there, and you're going to just follow the instructions. And in my case, I put one in the wrong place, so I had to cut it off. So luckily, they did include a couple of extras, so I had enough, but I only had enough. I didn't have any spare ones on Lucy. Some of these things, like the arms, will go in via these little posts right there, so they're not going to be attached like with zip tie. So I would store it like this when you are done with it for the season, or you'll have to cut them away and then get new zip ties. So I would tend to store it just like this. Now, I will say that you do need the stakes to hold the sucker in because it's not really stable, and especially in wind or something like that. So I've staked down her legs here, and hopefully that will hold everything in place. I will also say that the outlet, the plug here, does not look like an outdoor plug. So once you plug this into your extension cord or something like that, I might wrap something around it to make sure that you don't get any water inside of it. Okay, now that I've cut my teeth on Lucy, let's see if we can get Charlie done. Right, there is Charlie. I'll say Charlie's a little easier. One, I think it's just a big globe. It's really two halves, and the legs are easier to install there too. Got a cord coming out of him, so I think you can plug his cord into Lucy's cord and then Lucy's cord into an outlet or an extension cord. And so what you can see here is Charlie's a pretty round-headed guy. Other than his nose being maybe a little longer and a little hookish, he looks pretty good. I think Lucy is a really good representation though too, man. And that hair is really thick. So we got Charlie setting up to kick off with Lucy, and we all know how that goes. But I think here in the sunlight, these look pretty good, but I think we got to get them plugged in and see what it looks like at night. So the sun hasn't gone down quite yet, but went ahead and plugged it in to see what it looks like here at twilight, and everything's all lit up. Looks like all the bulbs are lit and working, and it'll probably look pretty cool at night. But it's Charlie and Lucy. Well, my spotlight came on as I'm walking out here, but here they are all lit up, and those little Christmas lights inside do a great job of illuminating it. I mean, you can obviously see the little spots, but the whole thing lights up kind of like a balloon, so it's pretty cool. And if you want the Peanuts characters, Charlie Brown and Lucy, decorating your home or lawn this holiday season, because it's going to light up your life a little bit too, I will put a link to these in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper. We can live better than ever face.